At the Empire Hotel in Subang, this blind woman told her story of how she was registered as a voter without her knowledge.
1 week before the election, my friends they were all discussing about their names being found in the electoral roll online. They had never registered before, and they found that the name was on the electoral roll. So I decided to look up for myself, and my name was there too.
So you were registered as a voter?
Yes.
And you had never ever registered?
Never.
Hers is one of several allegations of electoral fraud and irregularities that were presented on day one of Bersih's 5-day People's Tribunal.
The head of the council or the head of the legal team is presenting evidence to show that the general elections in Malaysia, the 13th general elections in Malaysia, was not fair or free. But of course it's up to the judges to decide whether they think the evidence we are presenting, whether it is sound, whether it's good, whether it's fact-based, and they would come to a conclusion and make recommendations to improve the electoral system for Malaysia.
The tribunal members include constitutional law expert Yash Palgai, Indonesian politics lecturer Ramlan Surbakti, lawyer Azad Kamaluddin, academic Dr. Mavis Putucherry, and the General Secretary of the Council of Churches of Malaysia, Reverend Herman Shastri. From day one, we can see that the tribunal has achieved its purpose as far as hearing people's complaints about the general elections. But there has been no one so far to defend themselves against these complaints. For instance, there's no representatives from the Barisan National Government or the Election Commission or the police force. But the Tribunal Steering Committee says this isn't from lack of trying.
We have invited, for example, the Secretary General of Barisan National, because he himself also is quoted in the press as saying that there were a lot of irregularities that they complained about. In fact, they filed, or he said they intended to file 21 petitions. And most of those petitions have been dismissed on preliminary grounds. So we have written 2 letters to him, asked him to come and participate in any which way he wants. It's not adversarial, it's just presenting evidence. He can come and present his evidence. Election Commission also has been invited to come, and they've been told why it's important for them to come, so that there is a balance, and they can even challenge some of the things that have been suggested this morning. So we are hoping that maybe if this press reports come through, they will be animated enough to say, okay, I think the time is now to come and give a fuller version, a more comprehensive version. We on our part, what shall we do? We are going to, in their absence, we are also going to refer to their election petitions, which contain a lot of allegations of irregularities. We also will try this morning, you saw, for example, when they said he is an UMNO member and so on, we have also made available their own denials subsequently.
So far, some of the tribunal's international members have seemed surprised at some of the allegations put forth and the laws governing Malaysia's elections. But they've also cast a critical eye on some of the witnesses' testimonies.
But they were definitely foreigners in the country that voted, and that was a problem. Yes.
I think the question is foreign looking. How do you see and say foreign and non-foreign?
We have a lot of Bangladeshis in the country together with Pakistanis and Nepalis and all that. And so I think many of us can distinguish them from the locals.
Did you got any of them and also what the nationality was?
In my report, there was one person that clearly stood out as a Bangladeshi towards the end. We did confront him, but he finally showed an IC that supported that he was foreign Malaysian, right? So we let it go.
So why are you so sure he was foreign?
Because he looked like a Bangladeshi, and basically he presented himself as one.
The People's Tribunal will last till September 22nd, and while the tribunal itself has no force of law to enforce its recommendations, the organizers hope the conclusions will help aid civil society.
whatever the answer is, it could be, it could be that they think everything was okay, but we will have to wait for the recommendations and the judgment to come out, and then civil society will use that as a form of advocacy.
Samisha Naidu, Kini TV.